Ibot the theologian was drifting slowly above the ocean, wincing in pain. His left arm was gone, and what remained of his shoulder looked like it had been blown to pieces. It consisted of little more than pieces of burnt flesh and bone. His formerly snowy white armor had been badly burned, and some of its larger pieces were missing entirely. There were burns on Ibot's face, too, but his eyes had lost none of their expressiveness, and they were afire with rage. The theologian descended and spotted a carbonized hunk of the ghoul carriage. The air was still filled with the faint scent of burnt flesh and blood, but besides a few pieces of the carriage, there wasn't anything left in the area at all, not even the winged ghouls. Ibot suddenly noticed something and swooped down to the surface of the water about 40 feet below. Running his fingers just under the surface, he picked up a scrap of burnt fabric on which a blood stain was still faintly visible. The water had turned pink all around him. Ibot knew that there were many predatory beasts in these waters, ones that could easily devour a human. But he also knew that this piece of fabric hadn't been part of Lulu's outfit, so he just threw it aside and continued his search. Ibot was supposed to find Lulu. He would never be forgiven if he allowed someone so gifted, with the eyes of Ares no less, to escape. She'd managed to do what most of those who possessed these eyes had never been able to do. She'd attained the third star. Iran had miscalculated badly in allowing her to escape, and someone would have to pay for that mistake. Ibot ground his teeth together in frustration and looked around again. He needed scanners with the eyes of Sagittarius to continue the search. Otherwise, the fugitives would definitely escape. From far behind him in the distance came the sound of thunder, and waves began to roil the water coming from the same direction. The war on Freedom Island was developing rapidly. Reluctantly, the theologian turned around and flew off toward the source of the disturbance. Fear and rage simmered inside him. Everything was still under control, of course. A group of Triboy and Duoy had no chance of escaping from a theologian with the fourth facet. But the insufficient information he possessed had already played a cruel trick on him. He hadn't known enough about the eyes of Ares, and he still didn't know anything about who Bush actually was. "I'll find you," he hissed as he picked up speed. "I'll find you, and I'll punish you."